Greetings, TMOT, back again for another drive time. I hope you all can hear me clearly through this mask. If you can't, my apologies, but I can't let it be my cross to bear because the message that I am sending today is very important. Now, some people are going to see the thumbnail of me with this mask and my Trump hat, and they're going to get the wrong idea. That too is not my cross to bear. Now, let me explain the mask first. This is not in support of the Confederacy, those people that supported the enslavement of my forefathers. This mask is a mask of protest. The Confederacy believed in slavery. Where are we headed to today? A state of the third slavery. Well, some will say, well, what was the second slavery? Well, to recap, the first slavery was, of course, slavery of the Negro. The second slavery came in 1913. Tax and debt slaves, every single working American. And now today, they are doing a dry run to see who will willingly submit to slavery. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, what do I mean by willingly submit to slavery? Who will put on a mask? Well, first, we're going to create a health crisis, a pandemic. Now, I warned y'all, I said this is about one thing. One man, the being Donald Trump, our economy, shutting down businesses so that the people will suffer and blame Trump, and one election. We all know what that election was, getting Trump out of the office. Now, let me clear up one thing about the election. Everybody is going around saying they stole the election with the voting machines. That is factually inaccurate. They stole the election with the millions of unvetted mail-in ballots. That is where the thievery took place, especially in states like Georgia, swing states. Now, I've got a bunch of inside information that's not publicly known about what happened here in Georgia. Raffensperger made a deal with the Democrats. I won't say a deal with the devil because he is of the devil's seed himself. It's just simply a rhino doing what rhinos do, okay? Now, and Kemp let him do it. Don't forget that Kemp let him do it. Now, I'm going to talk about some old and I'm going to talk about some new. But I want you all to remember, and I'm going to keep saying it. I warned you. I warned you. Been warning you for a decade about rhinos. And rhinos finally came through in a big way in helping the Democrats. I used to share an image of a Democrat and a Republican. A Democrat. Yeah, it was a Democrat and it was a Republican, believing that their side was helping them, but behind the scenes, the Democrats and the Republicans were holding hands. All right, but that's neither here nor there, and I digress. So let me get straight to it. Oh, I didn't finish telling you about the mask. I gave you the slavery part. Nazism is the state forcing things down your throat. And I got the names of the people there. You know, I got the Gestapo. I got the WHO, World Health Organization. I've got Fauci, okay? And there are some others. And I posted a video on my Facebook page where Trump did an interview and he laid into Dr. Smurfs and Dr. I forget what the other guy's name is, but go to my Facebook. He talks about those two doctors. He said he kept them around because they've been in D.C. for so long, but he avoided their advice at every turn. The woman, Smurfs, I think Grouchy, Dr. Grouchy. I call him Grouchy. Yeah, I mess up their names intentionally. But she told everybody you need to wear a mask and you shouldn't travel. But then she traveled to go and see her family. And when she was found out, she ended up resigning. But again, I have digressed because I want you to understand the point of the mask. If you don't get what the hat is saying, then you're too lost. And I'm not going to explain my Trump hat to you. If you don't get it already, that's your cross to bear, not mine. All right. Many don't understand this. Mandatory vaccine passports violate your constitutional rights in more ways than one. Number one, they are interfering with your right to travel by forcing you to have to present medical records. That's right, your medical records. Violation of HIPAA. It ain't your business whether or not I have been vaccinated. Many do not grasp the gravity of this situation. I have been touting that mandatory vaccines will be around the corner. They got these knuckleheads putting on these masks. They started out with the mask mandates, and guess what? Joe Biden just came back out today saying there's a new pandemic coming. We need everybody, all the governors, to go back to mask mandates. And I'm going to get to it and tell you why. Because if the governors do this, they will come back with this. If you want to get rid of the mask, you need to go and get vaccinated. Because Joe Biden just said April 19th, vaccines will be available for everyone. They want all of you vaccinated. And if you decide to go to go travel, and you got this vaccine passport, you can. But if you don't, they won't let you on the plane. Now that brings me back to Revelations 13 and Revelation 13, 16 and 17. Great or small, rich or poor, bond or free, if they did not have the mark, they will not be able to buy or sell. But what are you doing if you want to travel? You are trying to buy. When you go into a grocery store, what are you trying to do? You're trying to buy. In other words, if you want to spend money that you've earned on a product freely, you have to have the mark. Now, and then, I really love my biblical scholars, They come on, man, that's not the mark. It's going to be on your forehead. It's going to be on your head. And I clearly have the word. This is a prototype. This is a test. Let's see how pliable the people are. I'm breaking that down. I say a type of mark, a forerunner. Evil always tests the waters to see what they can get away with. What do sociopaths do when they're in training for murder? They see what it's going to be like to do it to cats and dogs. They all have a starting place. And right now, this is the cats and dogs stage. How can we kill them? How far can we go? What will they accept willingly before we have to use it, do it by a gun to their head? And then, we're not there yet, but there will come a time. There will come a time when the mark will be on your head or your hand. Oh, but here's another breakdown. And you have been marked for decades, for years. They've been testing. Look at the black folks. And see, I made a post, I talked about this, and I included 2 videos, one about the elites have struck back, and one with this girl and her mother talking cash crap in a video. The girl was involved in a killing from drag racing, killed a 52-year-old grandmother. And she was bragging, absolutely no remorse whatsoever, cursing, and the mother was right there with them. Their minds have been marked by Satan. Do you understand what I'm saying? Their mind, their thoughts, what they think. They thought that was okay. Then on top of that, our deeds. A teenage girl out drag racing, illegally drag racing in Alabama. Deeds. Satan marks you in your thoughts, and he marks you in your deeds. That abomination up there in D.C. pretending to be a woman, masquerading as a woman. Years ago, I talked about, it's one thing if you want to bite the pillow or play pool without sticks. But why on earth would a man want to be with a man that's pretending to be a woman when he can just be with a woman? Why on earth would a woman want to be with a woman that's pretending to be a man when she can just be with a woman? I didn't get it, and I said there's something psychologically wrong. They have been marked. Marked. They are wearing the mark of the beast in their thoughts and in their acts with the hand. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything in the Bible is not just one thing. It can, it can have a literal meaning. It can have a figurative meaning. And it can have a spiritual meaning. But you got to be able to see it. And one lady asked, what do you mean a mark? I don't see what those two videos have to do with this. And I said, you know what? Read it again slowly. Because if you didn't get that, then this is beyond your grasp right now. Pray about it. Pray about it. Because it's something I can't give you if you can't see this. And many people cannot see. They cannot see what's happening. This mass thing, how far can we go? And now the issue with the vaccine passports, that is a shortcut to mandatory vaccines. Mandatory vaccines. That's what it is. Joe Biden, I put a post out there with a Biden administration say, no, we're going to work with private businesses in pushing out this. We're going to give them directives because they can't do it. It's a violation of the Constitution. They know that. And people will buck. They will buck. And I'm not moved or impressed by the Republicans saying, absolutely not, we will not stand for this. Man, you failed. First 2 years of Donald Trump's presidency, you could have done whatever the heck it was that needed to be done legislatively. And I warned you. I said they are limiting Donald Trump to executive orders, which takes us to the border. One of many things that Joe Biden undid with an executive order because what Donald Trump put in place was not done legislatively. They want these illegals to come in across the border, especially the children. Why? Because those that are here in the country already, when those 11 million are made to be able to vote, they can say we're going to vote for Joe Biden because Joe Biden took care of our children. Do you understand? This is how this works. Make them grateful, and they will willingly go to the gallows for you. How do I know? I used to always post the experiment work. But who was the experiment on, Derrick? The experiment on Negroes. Starting with FDR giving us the infrastructure for the welfare state and Lyndon Baines Johnson. Oh, I got put in Facebook jail for 7 days last week because I put a post out there with Lyndon Baines' quote. I have niggas voting Democratic for the next 200 years. What do we have going on today? Negro friend of mine that voted for Donald Trump made a post, shared a post of mine where I'm talking about the mandatory vaccines. But he voted for Joe Biden, segregation Joe. Now he complaining. Another Negro friend of mine swore by Joe Biden, segregation Joe, complained about the gas prices, but she voted for segregation Joe. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? I mean, am I getting through? Am I getting through? Yeah, I know I don't make many drive times like I used to, because I made so many when all of this was going on, and it did very little good for the masses. There are a few that got it and get it, like the 95 people watching me right now. But it's not 2,000 or 3,000 like some people will get. Because most people look for mess, they look for garbage. They ain't trying to hear what's real. And a lot of that stuff is that's being said are the things that they want to hear. The things that do not challenge who they are on the inside. And this is what you need to grasp. I'm going to get ready to cut this video short. I have talked about the border. I have talked about mandatory vaccines, mandatory masks. I have talked about the mandatory vaccine passports. And I'm going to put out my props to Governor DeSantis, one of the best governors this country has ever seen. Man immediately came out and said, I will take an executive order to stop in the state of Florida, because that's as far as his reach goes, to stop it here in Florida. So I don't know what else to tell you, people. We have put together a constitutional coalition. You will hear more about it in the coming weeks. I hope that you will support us. I hope that you will continue to support me. You've never seen me get on here and talk about money, something I don't do. But if you want to support our cause and the Constitutional Coalition, the money ain't coming to me to go in my pocket. It is to get us to where we need to be on that. Cash App is TMOTOFGA. That's my Cash App. Send us what you can, and we will keep fighting for you. We'll stay in there. But this man right here is going to fight against this nonsense. I don't wear masks where I go. And if they tell me I got to put one on, I give them an opportunity. I say, masks work, right? They say, yeah. I said, well, you got on yours. What are you worried about? Sir, I'm not going. So you know what I'm talking about. I'm dealing with an idiot. All right? And that's just the bottom line. I have not taken the vaccine. I will not take that vaccine. Went to the doctor yesterday on my birthday. That's right, it was the 29th. Had my physical. I did not have on a mask. Nobody said a word. And when I was back there being examined, the nurse said, you must have been fully vaccinated. I said, nope. Why do you ask? Because you're not wearing a mask. I thought you were fully vaccinated. I said, I'm not taking that garbage. It takes 7 to 15 years to develop a reasonably safe vaccine, and they did it in 1 year. If you don't think something is wrong with that, then you know what? I don't know what else to tell you. Do you? I ain't taking the vaccine, and I'm not doing masks. And if you ever see me with this on, this is a protest gesture. I've got them on sale for eBay, by the way. All right, y'all. I think I've talked long enough. 18 minutes, 39 seconds. I'm going to say goodbye to you. Just know that what you're experiencing now is a move to see how far they can go. And the reason they are doing what they're doing at the border is to do to the illegals what they did to the Negroes for the last 40 years. That video of that girl, Carmesia Fleming, I think that's her name, says it all. Mother and all. Says everything you need to know about that. They have been marked in the mind, and they have been marked in the hand, the deeds that they commit. And one last thing, and I'm going to shut up. If you think that you have the heart of God in you, and you support abortion, or a politician who supports abortion, guess again. You do not have the heart of God, because you support the most innocent thing in the world, and that is a child in the womb. TMOT out. God bless you. Drive time until next time. I cannot promise that I'll be making a drive time anytime soon. But be thankful that you got this one today. Peace out.